Hello, crypto YouTube, crypto family. This is Crypto Farang, pre-recorded from Thailand. And if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Hop on over to Twitter, follow me at Crypto Farang, and as always, I am not a cryptocurrency expert, a blockchain specialist, or a financial advisor. I am just anxiously awaiting to see what happens when the markets open later today. Back home in the good old US of A, the greatest country in the history of mankind. Ba-dum-bum. All right, welcome back to the channel. If you did not have a chance to catch my video from a couple days ago, I quickly weighed in on the big price drop that we had in the market. It seemed to be directly correlated with some of the downtrends that we saw in traditional financial markets. And I mentioned that I filled my bags just a bit more with some more XRP at what are, in my opinion, very low prices, even if we see a further downturn. So let's hop over to the markets, to the crypto markets, and at just around 12:30 p.m. on a Monday here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, Bitcoin still trading in this sideways range, not dipping below 5,200, not really getting anywhere above 5,500 US dollars for the last 3 days, while the markets back in America sleep. XRP 15 cents, trading sideways, and my VeChain 0.0023. So just to mention quickly, one of the advantages of investing in VeChain, and I've touched on this briefly, VeChain is going to be a verification tool for the authenticity of different products. Food, designer products like clothing, things like that. So I am very bullish in a similar way about VeChain as I am with XRP. I see XRP being potentially integrated as this remittance tool for banks and financial institutions for settlement, so that traditionally you've got these Nostro Vostro accounts. Banks in America and banks in Mexico both need to hold certain amounts of currencies so that they can settle cross-border transactions. Well, XRP could potentially address that problem and free up a lot of money, a lot of liquidity, and so I'm very bullish on the whole potential XRP narrative. And VeChain as a real-world, the real-world implementation of a digital asset on a blockchain to verify products, that's very exciting to me. And so I have a long-term vision on VeChain, even though I've taken a big hit on a lot of my digital assets. And one of the benefits of holding VeChain is that you also get paid to hold VeChain. You get paid in VeThor. And VeThor is similar to the gas that you need to pay for Ether transactions. It's similar that it's needed to execute VeChain transactions. And so as a VeChain holder, you also accumulate VeThor. So even though my VeChain has taken a hit in its value, right alongside the rest of my digital asset holdings, I am currently accruing and accumulating VeThor. And VeThor is very inexpensive now, but with the long-term vision I have for VeChain, it's exciting to see that I am adding to my stacks of VeThor as well. And which brings me to the topic of this video. Because the US markets are going to open in a few hours, and because we had all this negative price movement correlated to the US stock market last week, there's a lot of discussion about what's going to happen to the crypto market when the markets open. Are the markets going to tank again? And a lot of people are saying yes. And the bottom line is this: we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know what's going to happen with digital assets. And as early adopters, I have mentioned this before, we are taking on the lion's share of the risk as early investors. We see the long-term vision for the potential mainstream adoption of a few digital assets, And so we are investing and holding in the anticipation that at some point these digital assets are going to rise in value. Nobody saw the coronavirus coming. And whether the coronavirus is legitimately this global threat, or if it is just the inaccuracies or the incompetencies of the mainstream news outlets that are feeding overblown fear hype into the mainstream or withholding information, or if it's the incompetencies of governments to properly handle this situation. There are so many situations that are out of our control. Nobody saw this coming. I certainly didn't see this coming. And so when I was short-term bullish in recent videos about where I saw the market moving as we move into the Bitcoin halving, well, there are just so many new variables to consider that we didn't have this information a couple weeks ago, a month ago. We've never had a Bitcoin halving on the cusp of a potential recession, a potential global catastrophic event. And so all these variables to consider. All that being said, and I mentioned this in the last video, my medium to long-term outlook on the cryptocurrency space as an investment has been unshaken. I am still just as confident and just as bullish. And so my plan, regardless of what happens after the markets open up on Monday, is I do plan to accumulate a little bit more XRP. I do not anticipate the price to spike up. I think we're either going to stay in a similar range or we're going to see some downward price movements. I'm not a technicals guy, and in a situation like this, I don't think technicals are of much help to make an informed prediction. But I will just tell you that because of my position and my attitude on the long-term potential of this thing, I still think this is a great buying opportunity. So I am going to accumulate some more XRP. That is my plan. And the other thing I wanted to mention, so living in Thailand, and some people might disagree that I am the foremost voice on cryptocurrencies and digital assets in Thailand on YouTube. You may know of another content creator. I know I do have a couple diehard fans, and hello to you, and thank you for watching this video. But I meet with a group of expats regularly. I've been living in Thailand for almost a year. And it was interesting because the topic of our discussion today, it touched on the importance of being grateful for what you have to be grateful for in this moment, regardless of what has happened in the past, potentially poor decisions you or I may have made, or potentially what can come down in the future, because we really don't know. We don't know if this coronavirus thing is going to spiral out of control. We honestly don't know how dangerous this thing is, or how potentially harmful this fear-mongering is going to ultimately be to society and to the economy. And living as an expat in Thailand, there are a lot of questions I'm beginning to ask myself about my visa situation and what am I going to do, and there are just so many things that I am powerless over that are out of my control. And I had to be reminded that all I have control over are the decisions that I am going to make regarding my life today. And there are just too many things in my life today to be grateful for. And so even though I was feeling a bit uneasy, and I'd be lying to you if I said that being an investor in cryptocurrency hasn't made me uneasy in recent days and weeks, I just had to stop and go, wow, what do I have to be grateful for today? And you know what? There are so many things that I have to be grateful for. And so I came home, I took a nap with my dog, and I took a hot shower, and now I'm getting ready to start work. And if it's possible, I'm even grateful for this job that I absolutely hate. Some days are better than others, but you know what? I'm just grateful that as a native English speaker, I can travel anywhere in the world and get work. It's a position of great privilege, and I am grateful for it. I'm also grateful for my girlfriend, and And I just also want to say that I have a friend back in the States who is dealing with some health issues, and I have not heard from him recently, and he has been in my thoughts and prayers, and I sincerely hope that he is fighting this battle, and that I'm going to hear from him again soon, and I miss him, and I love this guy. And so today has been a day of reflection. Fear, uncertainty, doubt, it's part of life. It's unrealistic for me to assume that I'm going to be on this linear trajectory and I'm never going to encounter struggles. I still encounter struggles on a daily basis. And there is a lot of uncertainty with investing in this nascent market. But I encourage you to hold steadfast to your convictions. If you've made a decision that this is a good investment, if you've made a decision that there is a future in this market, then just try to direct your attention someplace else and remember that we have so many things to be grateful for today. So, as always, thank you so much for joining me on the channel today. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. And as a reminder, please treat others the way that you'd like to be treated. And remember, crypto hindsight is always 20/20. I certainly hope we'll be saying that a couple years from today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.